Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. You meet people who forget you. You forget people you meet, but sometimes you meet those people you can't forget. Those are your friends. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. How easy it is to make people believe a lie, and how hard it is to undo that work again. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear, and the blind can see. Life is short. Break the rules, forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that makes you smile. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Find inspiration and motivation with the timeless words with 10 quotes, a true literary icon. Don't dream your life, but live your dream. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks and starting on the first one. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Success is a journey, not a destination. It requires constant effort, vigilance, and reevaluation. To be great, truly great, you have to be the kind of person who makes the others around you great. Focus more on your desire than on your doubt, and a dream will take care of itself. If we were meant to talk more than listen, we would have two mouths and one ear. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Of all God's creatures, there is only one that cannot be made slave of the leash. That one is the cat. If man could be crossed with the cat, it would improve the man, but it would deteriorate the cat. Go to heaven for the climate, hell for the company. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Sacred cows make the best hamburger. Why do you sit there looking like an envelope without any address on it? There are basically two types of people: people who accomplish things and people who claim to have accomplished things. The first group is less crowded. Nothing spoils a good story like the arrival of an eyewitness. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak. just because a baby can't chew it. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. Men are like bank accounts. The more money, the more interest they generate. We have the best government that money can buy. Behind every successful man, there is a woman, and behind every unsuccessful man, there are two. There are no grades of vanity. There are only grades of ability in concealing it. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do day after tomorrow just as well. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. There is nothing more satisfying than that sense of being completely at home in your own skin. When you achieve that, as a natural state of being, then you can finally look beyond yourself and fully contribute all your talents to the world. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. The ability to find solutions to life's challenges is what makes us grow as a person. There is no security in life, only opportunity. No man's life, liberty, or property are safe while the legislature is in session. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. Some of the worst things in my life never even happened. The truth hurts, but silence kills. A little lie can travel halfway round the world, while truth still lacing up her boots. It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. When in doubt, tell the truth. It will confound your enemies and astound your friends. A half-truth is the most cowardly of lies. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. The history of our race and each individual's experience are sewn thick with evidence that a truth is not hard to kill and that a lie told well is immortal. When in doubt, tell the truth. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. If you tell the truth, you do not need a good memory. The conviction of the rich that the poor are happier is no more foolish than the conviction of the poor that the rich are. If all the fools in this world should die, Lordly God, how lonely I should be. Man is without doubt the most interesting fool there is. He concedes that God made the angels immune from pain and death, and that he could have been similarly kind to man, but denies that he was under any moral obligation to do so. No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. The 1st of April is the day we remember what we are the other 364 days of the year. Let us be thankful for the fools, but for them the rest of us could not succeed. I am a great and sublime fool, but then I am God's fool, and all his works must be contemplated with respect. The trouble ain't that there is too many fools, but that the lightning ain't distributed right. Don't wrestle with pigs, you both get dirty and the pig likes it. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Those that respect the law and love sausage should watch neither being made. Love heightens all senses, except the common. I simply can't resist a cat, particularly a purring one. They are the cleanest, cunningest, and most intelligent things I know. Outside of the girl you love, of course. Love is the irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. What do we call love? Hate, charity, revenge, humanity, forgiveness, different results of the master impulse, the necessity of securing one's self-approval. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Love your enemy, it will scare the hell out of them. One of life's most overvalued pleasures is sexual intercourse. Of one of life's least appreciated pleasures, identification. If you want love and abundance in your life, give it away. Praise as well, compliment as well, but affection that is the last and most precious reward that any man can win, whether by character or achievement. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. If you can't stand solitude, perhaps others find you boring as well. I have found out that there ain't no surer way to find out whether you like people or hate them than to travel with them. We love old travelers. We love to hear them prate, drivel, and lie. We love them for their asinine vanity, their ability to bore, their luxuriant fertility of imagination, their startling, brilliant, overwhelming mendacity. There is no unhappiness like the misery of sighting land and work again after a cheerful, careless voyage. Take the universe as a whole, and it is a very clever conception and quite competently carried out. But I don't think much of this globe as a work of art. It would have been better to take more time to it and do it right, it seems to me, than to rush it through helter-skelter in 6 days just for reputation. I have found out there ain't no sure way to find out whether you like people or hate them than to travel with them. It liberates the vandal to travel. You never saw a bigoted, opinionated, stubborn, narrow-minded, self-conceited, almighty mean man in your life, but he had stuck in one place since he was born. Always do what is right. It will gratify half of mankind and astound the other. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. It is noble to teach oneself, but still nobler to teach others, and less trouble. With courage, you will dare to take risks, have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. Courage is the foundation of integrity. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. There is nothing in the world like a persuasive speech to fuddle the mental apparatus. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Give every day the chance to become the most dutiful of your life. God created war so that Americans would learn geography. If books are not good company, where will I find it? Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Life does not consist mainly or even largely of facts or happenings. It consists mainly of the storm of thoughts that is forever flowing through one's head. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. 'Tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. Laughter without a tinge of philosophy is but a sneeze of humor. Genuine humor is replete with wisdom. The gentle reader will never know what a consummate ass he can become until he goes abroad. The man with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. There are no people who are quite so vulgar as the over-refined. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. Travel has no longer any charm for me. I have seen all the foreign countries I want to except heaven and hell, and I have only a vague curiosity about one of those. Man is the only animal that blushes or needs to. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. Architects cannot teach nature anything. What would men be without women? Scarce, sir, mighty scarce. Human beings can be awful cruel to one another. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Sanity and happiness are an impossible combination. The only very marked difference between the average civilized man and the average savage is that the one is gilded and the other is painted. What is the most rigorous law of our being? Growth. Books are the liberated spirits of men. Never have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. I was seldom able to see an opportunity until it had ceased to be one. But who prays for Satan? Who, in 18 centuries, has had the common humanity to pray for the one sinner that needed it most? All of us contain music and truth, but most of us can't get it out. No real gentleman will tell the naked truth in the presence of ladies. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. The truth isn't. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. The best of all the lost arts is honesty. A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting on its shoes. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to reform or pause and reflect. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Classic, a book which people praise and don't read. Books are for people who wish they were somewhere else. Education, the path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. I was educated once. It took me years to get over it. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. In a good bookroom, you feel in some mysterious way that you are absorbing the wisdom contained in all the books through your skin without even opening them. It is noble to teach oneself, but still nobler to teach others, and less trouble. Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. What do we call love, hate, charity, revenge, humanity, forgiveness, different results of the master impulse, the necessity of securing one's self-approval. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. Never put off till tomorrow what may be done day after tomorrow just as well. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life,